Hey guys, Steve here from Bloom Audio. Today we've got two new products from iFi that are part of their new ZEN Air series. The ZEN Air Blue, Bluetooth streamer, and the ZEN Air DAC, which is, I know the suspense is killing you as to what kind of product this is. It's a DAC. So the ZEN Air series takes iFi's already reasonably priced ZEN series and strips things down a little bit so they can deliver these products at a $99 price point, which is, kind of rock bottom for this sort of product. So the question is, does the ZEN Air series represent a new heights in value for hi-fi audio? Let's take a closer look and find out. So for the ZEN Air series, the box and packaging is basically the same as the standard ZEN series. But the accessories and even the manual have been cut down a little bit. So for the ZEN Air Blue, you get a USB power cable. There's, the standard sort of warranty card with some information about MQA. And rather than a full manual, you get the quick start guide printed out, and you can find the manual online. So this just gives you a quick rundown on pairing the device. So for the device itself, the biggest difference is this is made from plastic and not aluminum like the standard ZEN series. The back of the unit has also been pared down, where the standard ZEN Blue has some digital outputs here. All we have are RCA on this. So and this plastic still has a nice feel to it. There's a texture to it. It doesn't feel cheap, but it's definitely a step down from the aluminum. I do kind of like the color and the different color options that they have available with this that might make for some cool looks in your stack. But yeah, this is basically just a kind of a pared down version of the ZEN design. Now, in terms of using the device, the interface here is pretty simple. There's one button on the front that turns the lights on and off. And then these two lights on here indicate, this will blink for pairing mode. And the blue indicates that your source is working at 48 kilohertz or below. It'll turn white for a high-res source. And then this tells you what kind of connection it is. So right now we're connected with AAC, so it's yellow. In the manual, you can see the full description of what the different colors mean. So basically, you connect to Bluetooth and connect to an amp using the RCA, and you're all set. Again, you can turn off the lights. The device is still on while the lights are off. Or if you need to pair a new device, just hold this down and enter pairing mode, and you see that disappears and that flashes blue and red to indicate we're in pairing mode. ZEN Air Blue has the same core internal components as the ZEN Blue V2, just with a couple features removed. So this means you're getting Bluetooth 5.1 with support for adaptive LDAC, aptX HD, AAC, any other number of Bluetooth codecs. So you can connect just about any Bluetooth source that you might have, phones, DAPs, computers, tablets, etc. And the DAC inside is, again, it's that same DAC, so it's not quite as strong as the ZEN DAC itself, but it performs pretty well, and it maintains that iFi house sound, which lends more towards a lush type of presentation, warmer, not as reference or analytical as some other options out there. Now, probably the main thing that's missing in the ZEN Air Blue from the ZEN Blue is digital outputs. So while you have a really strong Bluetooth component there, you don't have the ability to pair that with another DAC. You know, it has the no headphone output, so you're going to be using this with an external headphone amp. You've got the RCA outs, the analog output to use this with whatever amp you want to pair it with, or you know, an integrated amp, a stereo receiver, anything like that. But you're not going to be able to change the DAC. So that's just something to keep in mind if you're getting this. But yeah, the Bluetooth has great range and performance, even lacking the antenna. So, you know, in our testing, we found you're not going to have any trouble at all in a headphone desktop situation, you know, assuming it's in the general area. And even in a bigger space, if you're using it with, you know, something like your stereo receiver, a home theater setup or something like that, you want to add Bluetooth, you're going to have, you know, at least 20, 25 feet of range before you start running into any connection issues, which again is typically all the range that you'll need in that sort of setup. We also found kind of in testing, from what we had, this definitely outperformed like some of the Bluetooth integrated into something like a, you know, low to mid range desktop setup, or not desktop, you know, stereo setup, an AVR or something like that. It really was an upgrade there. So it can work with speakers in a home theater as well as it can with headphones. So for the ZEN Air DAC, you get a little bit more in the bundle. So you get the same USB power cable, and you also get a USB data cable, but then the same sticker, you know, warranty information, and quick start guide. Obviously the instructions for the ZEN DAC are a little bit different there. But again, very similar box and design to the standard ZEN series, just everything just scaled back a little bit. So in terms of using the ZEN Air DAC, there's a little bit more to it than the ZEN Air Blue, a few more buttons. So you know you have the obvious stuff. This has a headphone output and the associated volume. Like the ZEN Air Blue, there's no on-off switch. There's not even like a click at the bottom of this. As long as the power and USB are connected, it will turn on. Now, I will note this does actually power off of USB without the power cable. But depending on how much of a HiFi purist you are, you might want to run that power and data separately rather than combining. So on the front, you have this light here, which indicates the type of audio that's currently coming through, whether that's DSD, MQA, etc. Then you have the power match. So the power match button, it's basically a high-low gain. So I hit that, I go into high gain, which is going to be better for most over-ear headphones. I hit it again, I go into low gain, which is going to provide a lower noise floor for IEMs. Then of course we already talked about the volume knob. And X-Bass, which gives you that nice bass extension, a little bit extra punch in there. Should also note, this does not come with the adapter for 3.5 millimeter headphones. So if you want to use it with your IEMs or your other headphones, you want to make sure you have the adapter there. On the back, you've got, you know, the RCA output, USB data input, and an external power, which you don't need, but that would be the preferred method of operation. So yeah, it's again, it's stripped down a little bit. It doesn't have the balanced 4.4 for headphones or the balanced line out on the back. So it doesn't quite have all the features of the standard ZEN DAC, but it does give you quite a bit in this more stripped down package. So as we just mentioned, the ZEN Air DAC doesn't have the balanced output or all the connection options of the ZEN DAC V2, but it internally has the same DAC, which means that you're getting, the MQA renderer, the DSD support, and all of these other options, and the great sound that comes with the ZEN DAC. So, you get that very detailed, close to reference sound with just a little bit of warmth in the mids, a little bit of smoothness at the top. That really kind of defines that iFi house sound, that signature that you're looking for. And then it has the X-Bass Plus, which is going to add some rumble and some depth in there, a little more punch in the bass too. The imaging is excellent for the price. The soundstage, especially when you start putting it over your headphones, the soundstage can feel a little bit small. So I thought the DAC performed really well as a standalone unit with stuff in the range of like a Focal Stelia, a HiFi Man Ananda. You were definitely getting really solid performance. Anything less sensitive than that, anything more demanding, and that's when you start really feeling that soundstage feels more constricted. The dynamics feel a little bit squelched. So really to get the full performance with that level of headphone, you're going to need to connect an external headphone amp. And I think that is really where you get to see what this can do when you're working with a higher end headphone. It can really deliver all of the detail that the ZEN Air DAC is capable of delivering, which is pretty impressive at the price point. You can deliver that with an amp that gives you more power. So I think for a single-ended device that doesn't have any balanced output or balanced capability, this is a really strong DAC that's giving you really great performance at the price, but it's even better if you've got an external amp to hook it up to. So the ZEN Air series promised more bang for less bucks, and it absolutely delivers. While the ZEN Air DAC and ZEN Air Blue are scaled down from their ZEN series counterparts, they still really give you the heart and soul of those devices in a stripped down, lightweight package. So if you're looking for an inexpensive setup for a bedroom or second location or something like that, or you're just getting started on your hi-fi journey, ZEN Air provides incredible value without compromising on performance. Thanks for watching. You can check out the ZEN Air series and a lot of other great products at bloomaudio.com. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll be back soon with more hi-fi personal audio content.